Hi, Sparkles. This is episode 132 of the Intuitive Wisdom Podcast. Wait! Don't worry, you're in the right place. We've had a podcast evolution. What started as delicious ease and learning to raise our vibration has now evolved and become Intuitive Wisdom, where we will continue to explore energy work, connecting with your intuition, aligning with your manifestations, and leaving space for the universe to work its magic. This episode is a check-in. Back from a few weeks break over the holidays, I want to share the insights from my annual Reflect and Plan and what I look forward to this year. Here we go. Hi, and welcome to Intuitive Wisdom. I am your host, Kay Margaret Solorio. I am an author, spiritual teacher, and certified Angel Reiki Master. I believe that all the answers you seek are inside you. When you learn to discern between the ego and the intuition, tune into spirit, you can hear that whisper, your intuitive wisdom, answering your questions and showing you the next right step. On this podcast, we explore that connection and the good that happens in the world when you learn to hear your intuition, trust your intuitive wisdom, and allow your magic. All right, Sparkles, quick announcements before we get to the episode. There's a lot going on in the Delicious Ease world, and I'm very excited to share and grow with you. First up, my book, Happy Squeal. The title of my book is Make Ease Your Vibe. It's now available on Kindle, and the paperback version releases via Amazon on February 2nd. Be sure to check it out. I will include a link in the show notes to make it easy. And next up, if you're listening to this as it releases, we have 2 group sessions this month, live on Zoom. This week is our group Angel Energy class. We are focusing on reconnecting with your inner child, and we'll be calling on Archangel Zadkiel to help us as we do a full energetic body scan, and I will also channel any messages that come through. On January 22nd, you can join for a live guided meditation. Again, our topic this month is inner child. This session is shorter, it's 30 minutes on Zoom, and it's free to join. You can sign up at my website, deliciousease.com/services. All right, let's get to the episode. All right, Sparkles, my question for you today is, do you do an annual reflect and plan? Planning has become an essential for me when it comes to making my dreams come true. I do best with those strategy. Not a question. It's never written in stone, but it keeps me focused and excited. And the best part, I no longer get to the end of the year with regrets. I think, wow, hey, I did something this year. Woohoo, I can't wait to see what happens in the coming year. I feel alive and connected, and I feel creative and awake. So, what does that look like? Physically, for me, it's me and a journal and a long list of questions and a little time over multiple weeks. Well, multiple days, sometimes weeks. I like to mull over things and really let it steep. I like tea, so we'll go with that metaphor. Like exercise, the best part of reflecting and planning is when it's over. You feel better, you look better, and you know where you're going. My birthday is December 26th, so my personal New Year is very close to the calendar New Year. I started this year's reflection by doing the workbook section of Tamar Hurwitz Fleming's How to Have a Happy Birthday book, which we talked about a couple episodes back. Great book. Loved it. Sounds like it's one of those things that sounds like it should be simple, but it's not, because there's all these layers of emotional stuff tied to it. And it took me probably 2 weeks to get through it little by little. But it was fantastic. And I can't remember enjoying a birthday more. Really helps to sort out your stuff, doesn't it? Next, I went through Carrie Green of the Female Entrepreneur Association's prompts. She has kind of a list of 10 questions she says she asks herself every year. So these are more expansion on the be, do, have exercise, which you know I love. So how do I want to feel? And my answer to that this year was courageous. And then what do I need to do to feel that way? So now we're talking strategy, right? And I love this because I don't know the answer until I've asked myself the question. That's why it's really worthwhile having a CEO date with yourself, CEO of your life, CEO of your business. Either way, taking that time without the noise and distractions that is everyday life to just ask yourself questions and seek those answers that are inside you, right? And a lot of times, if we don't take the time to think about it, to ask, to hear the answer, you don't know. And you can feel disconnected. So this is also really grounding to do that. Now I got off topic a little bit, but strategy. Another example came to mind of, when somebody says, "Oh, I just want to be happy." And then you say, "Okay, great. What does happiness look like for you?" And they haven't a clue. Except you have a clue as to why they haven't found happiness yet. Because they haven't defined or dreamed or thought about what that looks like. How do you get that satisfaction? Because it's different for each one of us, isn't it? So the rest of Carrie Green's questions have to do with what you want to do, what you want to see, and what you want to learn about. And then focus on dreaming big, removing all those mental obstacles and parameters and thinking, what if? And a little future traveling, which is always fun. What will you be celebrating at the end of the year? So looking for that perspective. Next, as I continue to learn about feminine and masculine energies, and side note on that, I had an astrological reading this past year with Anka. If you want to, you can check out episode 126 for my conversation with Anka. And I learned that although I came into this world as female, I have a pretty balanced dose of female and masculine energies. I'm also raising a boy and a girl, and as they continue to grow, I become increasingly aware of my need to catch up and better understand masculine energy. Long story, not so short, I completed Chris Williamson's of the Modern Wisdom podcast annual review list he shared this year. Perhaps to be expected, but these were less about intuition, dreaming, and feeling your way into it, and more of corporate lessons learned style with a personal twist. My favorite, what were the most valuable ways I spend my time, and how do I do more of this? So also, again, linking strategy directly after identifying the goal. And the emphasis, I think a lot of times in what I think of traditional kind of corporate structure and masculine structure is more of efficiency and spending your time on those things that give you value. But what I appreciate about his questions were the value was not just on the doing, but on the being. And that's what we talk about here, right? It takes both the doing and the being to have a full life and to manifest your desires. So this focus on the value being recognizing that feeling good is a huge investment in everything else. And he definitely did that with the personal twist on his questions. I also appreciated that his questions led me to reflect on what I can let go, what didn't go well, or what's the right way of saying that? What didn't get done. That was on my list for last year. And also who I want to collaborate with. I liked that question because there's huge value in collaboration, community and not competition. I love all that's happened through this podcast so far and all the conversations I've had. And I want to see how I can continue to grow that with podcast swaps this year and maybe, teaching with others. I don't know, but that really stirred up some ideas, and I always appreciate that. And lastly, he did a little future traveling in his questions too, asking me to think about what advice my 85-year-old self would give me. I love that. It was very reassuring, and it was such a perspective of, don't let the little things bother you. I have my notes next to me, and I don't. Oh, it will happen in divine timing. Keep going was what I wrote down. Breathe, right? So those both really gave me good insights, and I appreciated that. And then I also did the exercises that I recommend regularly is the be, do, have. Sky's the limit. So don't limit yourself to just this year, but have that overview, let yourself expand as much as possible. What do you want to be? What do you want to do? What do you want to have? And then I also wrote out my ideal regular day, what that would look like. And that helped me realize, again, going back to that value, what charges me, what little things can I add within my day, even if it's a busy day, that will help balance that towards what flow would work for me and where the demands on my time are. So having that perspective really helped. What else did I want to tell you? My big takeaway this year was visibility, which links back to the courage I talked about earlier. I want to get more in alignment with how I present myself and what I expect of myself. I want to get out there more, in front of more and bigger audiences, and I want to do more of the work I love. And this year, that starts with a podcast evolution. Renaming and reworking the podcast so it has a clearer message and can be found more easily. I'd love to hear what you think. Do you pick a word for the year? And have you told a friend about intuitive wisdom? All right, Sparkles, that's what I have for you today. If you'd like a summary worksheet of my annual reflection plan, send me an email at support@deliciousease.com. Subject, reflect, and plan. I look forward to hearing from you. You are amazing, Sparkles. Remember, you are amazing. See you next week. Cheers. Hey, Sparkles. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Intuitive Wisdom Podcast. If you haven't already, click subscribe and follow. And if you love this episode, please leave a review and share it on Instagram and tag me at Delicious Ease. That's DELICIOUSEASE, so that I can say thank you. Every review helps another person find this podcast and learn to welcome their own intuitive wisdom. You can download your free 20-minute guided ideal day meditation on my website, deliciousease.com. Again, that's DELICIOUSEASE.com. And have you bought my book yet? Now available on Amazon, be sure to find my book, Make Ease Your Vibe, for mindset, energy, and time strategies that help you raise your vibration and enjoy the life you live. See you next week.